Tasty Thursday. Today we are making one recipe that's a gift to give. Well, actually both of them you could give as gifts. We're making one recipe here, and then we're going to make another recipe that's actually edible. This recipe is not edible. We are making, and this is a viewer request, we are making something called bath salts. Now, it's really simple. There really are only 3 ingredients, maybe 4 if you want to add a fragrance to it. But this is really great for either giving to your mom or grandma for a bath treat for them, or I like to use it just for washing my hands. It makes your hands feel really good after you've had a little scrub. Love it. So here are the ingredients we need. Now you notice this is an empty bag. That's because I poured them into this container. Easier to store, partially because I ripped the zipper at the top. So these are just bath salts, and I just get these at the drugstore. You can get them scented or unscented. These happen to be scented, but if you get unscented, you can add fragrance to it. I'm going to add a little bit of fragrance anyway. And then we need baking soda. You need a bowl for mixing, and you need a 1-cup measuring cup, a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon, and then just to be fun, I've got some special soap coloring, soap coloring, not food coloring, and then here is our fragrance. So the first thing we're going to do is add 2 cups of salt, of the Epsom salt, to our bowl. Here's 1 cup and 2 cups. Now the next thing we're going to add is our baking soda, and we're going to add 4 tablespoons. Now the thing about the baking soda is the more baking soda you add, the fizzier your bath salts are going to be. So if you want really fizzy, you could add like 6 tablespoons instead of 4, but I'm going to just add 4. Because I'm making this as a gift for someone, and I don't really know how fizzy she likes her baths. So we're going to just add 4. Now the thing you'll need to be careful about with this recipe is that when you start mixing it up, you can't mix it very fast, because otherwise it's going to go all over the place, and you don't want salt and baking soda all over your kitchen. Well, you might, but your mom probably doesn't. So I'm just taking a flat spatula, and you're going to just mix it just until it looks like it's blended, just a little bit, and then we're going to add our food coloring. Now I've already made 1 batch, and it's red because it's Christmas, and this is a Christmas gift. So now I'm going to add some green. And so you put it in just like food coloring. I'm going to add a few more squirts. You can always add more, so you want to start with less food coloring, because if you put too much in, you're just kind of stuck. So you'll see it looks like little globs. It kind of cakes up like that. That's why it's important to use this flat spatula, because you kind of push those down and you can see the color start to come out a little bit. Now this will take probably about a minute to get this all worked in. So I'm going to keep working this in, and then we'll be back to check it, and it'll be a beautiful green color, and then we'll do our next step. So our salts are nice and green, as you can see. What I'm going to do now is just add a little bit of vanilla fragrance. Now I found this at a craft store, and it's in the soap making section. So you're going to add just a few squirts, and this is just vanilla, because vanilla is a pretty mild flavor. Sometimes you get these fragrances that are so overpowering, they make your nose tingle. We don't want that. That's not relaxing. So we just mix these up real quick. Now you'll notice here that we've got our bag of red that's already ready to go. This is actually for one of our viewers. And this is for one of our viewers. So those of you who get these, you're going to be surprised. Your bath salts are famous. Well, not really famous, but sort of famous. Okay, so that's it. This is our whole recipe. So now if you're just making this for your mom to use at home, you could take like maybe an old peanut butter jar or spaghetti jar. You probably want to use a plastic jar because it's going to be in the bathroom. But because I have to mail these, I'm going to use these plastic bags. And I have decorated this with a fancy bow. You can see this is just a plain sandwich bag. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a smaller smaller cup so they don't make a big mess. I'm going to just fill this bag up with these fancy salts. Now, if you wanted to, this is a lot of bath salt for one person. This is a lot of time in the bathtub. So what you could do is, I got these little cups at the grocery store. These are kind of like cups you get in a restaurant if you have sauce or something, but they have a nice little lid. So what you could do is just put some in here. I'll show you what that would look like. You could just put about that much, and instead of tying it with a ribbon, you could take just those little tiny Christmas bows and stick it right on top, or you could write a little note or something about wishing them a relaxing Christmas season. They would probably love that, whoever you gave it to. Well, probably most of your moms or grandmas would. I don't know if too many of your grandpas or dads would be real excited about this gift, or brothers, but you never know. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish filling this up. Now, I've got this fancy ribbon. I'm going to add just a tiny bit, not too bad. Okay, so what you're going to do is make sure that the top of your bag is zipped closed, just like this. Put that over there. And then we're going to take some of our ribbon and tie the bag closed so that it looks like the red one. Now, I said this already, but this is something nice that you might want to keep just by your sink and use with your hands, because I don't really like to take baths. That's just my personal preference, but I really like my hands to feel soft. So this is a great thing that I keep hand scrub by the sink, because I just love it. Makes your hands feel really nice. Let's get some white ribbon in here too. We'll have red, white, and green ribbon. Well, my white ribbon is not cooperating. Okay, that looks about even. So we're going to just cut our ribbon off. And this, you might need your brother or sister to help you with this part, because sometimes ribbon likes to not cooperate, and sometimes it's easier to have two hands when you're trying to tie a bow. So, alright, so we've got our ribbon. So you're going to just take the top of your bag and just tie a knot, just like you're tying your shoe. And I usually do 2 knots, just to be sure it is nice and tight. Whoops. You know what? Let me let a little bit of air out of this bag. It's a little full. There we go. Okay. One more knot, and then we'll make our curly cues, and then this gift is going to be ready for giving. Alright. Take our scissors. This might be a part that your adult assistant needs to do. If you're allowed to use scissors, you could certainly do this part. Make your ribbon beautiful and fancy. Now the nice thing is, if you wanted to do this also for Mother's Day instead of Christmas, instead of red and green, you could use like pink and purple, or do spring colors. That would be really nice too. Let's get our green one a little curlier. Okay. Woo, that looks awesome. So here we have our bath salts. We have red and green for Christmas. So Merry Christmas. Have fun making these wonderful bath salt gifts, and I will see you back for our next part of our Tasty Thursday, which is edible teddy bears. Alright, now it's time for part 2 of our Tasty Thursday video, and we're making something that I call bear biscuits. Now this is a brand new recipe for me. I've never tasted it, I've never made it, but I have smelled it, and it smells amazing. So, because I've never made it, I need to use this recipe. So here are the ingredients that we need. We need some refrigerated biscuits, we need some maraschino cherries, some mini chocolate chips, we need some sugar, some cinnamon, and then at the very end we're going to put honey. So the first thing we're going to do is make our cinnamon sugar. Now if you already have cinnamon sugar made up ahead of time, you can skip this step, but I don't. So I'm going to add some cinnamon sugar, or some sugar, to this bowl. And then I'm going to add my cinnamon. Now you can make this as cinnamony as you like. Some of you probably like lots of cinnamon. Some of you like more sugar than cinnamon sugar. This is going to be our bear's fur. Okay, so we're going to just give this a quick stir. And if you have more at the end of this, after you've made these Bear biscuits, you can just save it for toast or some use later. Or you can make some of those amazing cine minis that we made a few weeks ago. Those were delicious. Okay, so we've got our cinnamon sitting right there. So the next thing it says to do is to open our biscuits. And we've used this kind of biscuit before. You just pull the tab and push up the line. Whoa! That was a big pop. I don't know why these kinds of biscuits always scare me. Not really scare me, but they surprise me. Okay, so this is, we're going to separate the biscuits and we're going to cut 3 of them into 8 pieces. So we're going to go ahead and, here are 3 biscuits. We're going to cut them into 8 pieces. So we'll do a cut there and a cut there. That gives us 4, and then we're going to do another cut to get our 8 pieces. You didn't know you were going to get a math lesson today, did you? But there's actually a lot of math that goes into cooking if you're following the recipe. So that's a good way to learn math, is by cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these. Now what we're going to do after we make this final cut and we have our pieces, we're going to make these into little balls. This is a job that if everyone in your house or in your kitchen has clean hands, you can do, because these balls are going to become the nose and the ears for our little bears. Now, while this is not technically a football food, some of you who are bear fans could make this for a football party, and it would be an appropriate food for your team. One of our viewers even has a nickname of Bear in his name. Okay, so we're going to mix all these up. Now then what we're going to do after this is lay our, here, we'll move these over and we'll start one so you can see what we're going to do. Okay, so we take 1 biscuit, just like that, and we're going to squish it just a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. Maybe pretend you're clapping with the biscuit. Whoa! That was not supposed to happen. But, you know, things happen when you're cooking that you don't expect. So we're going to take one of our balls and kind of attach it up here at the top, kind of squish it down. That's going to be one ear. We're going to take another ball, squish it down over here. That's the other ear. And then we're going to take this ball, stick it in the middle. That's going to be the nose. And then we're going to take a maraschino cherry. These are the cherries that come on top of ice cream sundaes. We're going to put one of those in the middle of each ear. And then we're going to take a chocolate chip and stick it in the middle of the bear's nose. Oh, it needs eyes too. We should use 2 more chocolate chips for eyes. And look at that. How cute is that? So I'm going to go ahead and finish our bear biscuits. I've got our oven preheating to 400 degrees. The main thing you want to remember there is just whatever the temperature says on your biscuit ingredients, it'll tell you on the back. Right here it tells me it needs to be at 400 degrees, so that's what I did for our biscuits. So I'm going to finish these up, and the next time you see me, we will have an entire plate of bear biscuits, and I think our taste tester is pretty hungry today. So, you know, he might just gobble them up like a real bear. I don't know. We'll find out. Some of you realized, again, I forgot an ingredient. After I mixed up this beautiful cinnamon sugar, I forgot to even put it on. So we're going to go ahead and move our bear over to our baking tray. And what we're going to do is just sprinkle some of our cinnamon sugar on top of our bear, so that our bear has some fur. Now you could put as much or as little as you want. If you want a really hairy bear, add a lot. I'm going to just put a little. Oh, our oven's ready. I better hurry up and finish these up and pop them in the oven. Our honey bears are out of the oven, and they are so cute. I'm so excited about these. So I'm going to scoop one up here and put it on our plate. You may have noticed over here we lost an ear. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so I've got our little edible teddy bear and some honey. I'm going to go find our taste tester and see what he thinks. And I just may have to have one too. I'm so excited about these. I hope you love them.
Bring your family and friends. She's a magician in the kitchen. Watched on Mondays and Thursdays. Cooking yummy foods and tasty treats. Give up orders and taste the fun sleep.